What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN's live stream of Saints Row 4. I'm Daemon, this is Ryan, and we are joined here by Dave, who's going to be showing us a mission from deep in the game. You said this is about halfway through the game?
Yeah, this is about halfway through the game. So you've been abducted by aliens. You're the President of the United States, of course. You've been abducted by aliens, and you've been working in and out of your own simulation that they've thrown you into. These simulations are built to, break your spirit. And so they've thrown all of your best friends into their own simulations that are built around their worst fears to do the same. So we're going to go and try to save Pierce Washington, who's one of your friends. It's about halfway through the game.
Okay. And we do have 4 copies of the game to give away. We'll be giving
platform of your choice.
Yeah, platform of your choice. We'll be giving those away sort of spread out throughout the next hour. So just tweet your questions at IGN, hashtag Saints Row, and that automatically gets you to win.
If we pick up from the end of Saints 3, the Saints are more powerful than ever. You're the President of the United States, but the aliens come and enslaved you, and now you are essentially Neo inside Matrix, where you have that's where your superpower originate.
Right, yeah. Since it's a simulation, you've basically hacked into the simulation. You have to collect data that's all over the place. You'll see like blue glowing orbs. I'm in the middle of downtown, so you can't see high enough to see any of them right now. Oh, there's one right there. So those orbs are what power your superpowers, and we have tons of upgrades like in past games that for the superpower upgrades are all built off those orbs.
I've been researching your friend Pierce. Are you sure you wish to retrieve him?
What kind of a question is that?
An honest one. Historically, you spend nearly half your time ridiculing him.
Yeah, but it's all in good fun.
Making a man who risks his life for you and what you stand for the butt of your comedy routine is all in good fun?
Yes?
You're a terrible person.
Can you give me the goddamn cipher? Saving his life,
You don't have to convince me. Just yourself. Drink up.
We're talking about this later.
So that's Sid. He's a intelligent system within the simulation that you've given him a body so that he can go and help you break it down.
Some may think he's gone soft because of this. He's always been loyal to the crew no matter what had to get done.
Which returning characters from previous Saints games will be running into in Saints 4?
They're the main group of Saints. A lot of them are coming back. Some of them are only there as cameos. A lot of them are there throughout the entire game. Pierce, we've shown Shondi. Kinsey is back. You're going to see Josh Berg and Oleg, and so most of the people that you get to know in Saints Row 3, they'll be here. There's obviously a bunch of new ones as well.
Can I import my character? Or do I have to rebuild her?
Yeah, you can import a character from Saints Row 3. If you remember on Saints Row 3, we had the initiation station where you could build it before the game came out.
Yep, on your website.
Very soon, the inauguration station will be coming out, and it's very much the same. And you'll be able to make a character ahead of time and bring it in there. And then you can also import any characters from Saints Row 3 or from the initiation station on Saints Row 3. They'll work as well.
There should be more by bar. Let's go.
What the fuck did you do, Pierce?
This live stream is rated M for mature,
It is.
as the game is.
Nice.
So what I want to know, Dave, is what ideas don't make it into Saints Row? Because
that's just
how
too
do you
weird.
go too far in a volition design meeting?
It's a very interesting line to walk on. Like there are definitely things that don't make it into the game. There are things that we're like, no, a lot of times it just doesn't fit the style, but even defining that is always a challenge.
Like right here, we're getting attacked by giant anthropomorphic Saints Row energy drink cans.
Right, so by that you can tell that does fit the style.
Right, so someone pitched that in meeting.
Right.
So you're getting attacked by giant cans of energy drinks.
Yes. I mean, it's always an interesting process. We definitely don't try to keep things too tightly controlled. We like to have more fun with it.
Great.
But this series just makes me happy when I play it.
How you like that, Paul?
So yeah, he's got a name too. His name's Paul.
Paul the Saints Flow can.
Of course it is.
Now, will he be an unlockable player character for some sort of Easter egg?
No, Paul. Paul's a little too big for that, but he will show up every once in a while.
Maybe he would just blow your rent allocation. Tried to run him around the game world.
Hit him again, boss.
Did you guys all watch Ghostbusters 1 before drawing up
We could do a
this
giant
scene?
mascot in our game.
If anyone hasn't watched Ghostbusters 1, that should be like number one on
Fireable
the list of
offense.
things to do. Yeah.
Can we tell? Oh, I guess that's how we do it.
You okay up there?
Yeah, there's a helicopter up here gonna climb to. Think you'll be okay on your own?
I'll be fine. Let's go. Pierce is really gonna. That went well.
I like they explode into soda.
Guys can be pretty dangerous if they get the drop on you. You get too many of them around you.
Now, you said these worlds are supposed to represent their worst fears, right?
Yeah, so Pierce is like the the face of the Saints, and so they basically turned all that product marketing and whatnot against him.
Better be more rockets up here somewhere.
I gotta imagine that setting the game inside a virtual reality simulation pretty much allows any creative idea you might have to come to fruition.
It does allow certain freedoms that you might not get in the real world, definitely. Rocket. Yeah, I mean, it definitely frees us up to, obviously things like superpowers don't really fly as well in the real world, but.
Yeah. So give me one idea that we were talking about a minute ago that didn't make it into the game. What's something that you either decided, just for one reason or another, just went, nah.
All right, well, there's one. Some people online aren't going to agree with this decision, I'm sure. But so a little bit later on, we'll show some of our superpower elements, which kind of change the way that a superpower works. It gives a new behavior for you.
Okay.
And
Kinsey knows a way.
Kinsey does?
we had a certain individual on the project who was all gung-ho about the poo blast.
Oh my gosh.
He really wanted that poo blast, but ultimately that did not make it into the final game.
So you draw the line at feces, basically.
Sometimes. I mean, we had fart in a jar, right? So
That's true.
the line is not the thickest line you'll ever see.
Pardon the pun.
So here we're just gonna Paul while he's down.
Well,
Yeah,
on for a little
annihilate
bit,
poor
you know.
Paul.
So waking back up. Good time, Paul. What Kinsey, as he often does, is come up with a plan to take out Paul.
Please let this end with him getting his can open and exploding.
Okay, get inside the Statue of Joe Magarak.
Oh, the statue has a name?
Seriously, you didn't know that.
Must have skipped that in my morning briefing.
Met Ghostbusters.
Yes.
It's on.
Little did you know.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is this shit?
Glad you like it.
Well, Joe, let's see what you can do. Plug your ass, Paulo. I'm coming for you.
Don't forget about the block button.
What block button?
I labeled it for you.
Oh, that should have been obvious.
So, do I get to drive that thing next?
I don't think so, Pierce.
Careful, he's gonna laser eye you again.
Laser eye?
Fuck, you know what I mean?
Ash.
Look out!
I guess he wouldn't be an energy drink if he went down easily.
Right?
That's right.
Right?
What's the matter, Paul, huh?
And to give you the ending that you have.
Come on!
I'll pour one out for you.
Oh my god.
Now,
Let's make a monument.
Yeah, that's a good look for him.
tell me someone's gonna say that you just opened up a can.
You should be editor-in-chief of puns.
I feel like there
Jim.
might have been an opportunity lost.
You ready to get out of here?
Yeah, can't wait to get back to Earth.
So now that we've gone and saved Pierce, he'll be available in the game to use as homie
Excellent.
as in past games. So once I get through all the rewards that we're going to get out of this.
That was a story mission. That was
Yes,
part
that
of the
was-
core main story.
That was part of the main campaign, yes. So we'll see here in a second. I'll show you the quest screen. And in addition to giving us Pierce, now he's going to be on the ship. We can go and so this is a ship. Internally, we like to call this the Nebuchadnezzar Normandy. Officially, it doesn't have any name, but you'll meet all the friends that you have and you've saved from the simulation on this ship. And this is the real world right now.
Right.
So you use this ship as kind of the way to get between these little chair things can get you back into the simulation. So I'll pop back in. And I can.
So since Saints is an open world game, you have to actually go into the simulation to access all these activities, is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much everything is in here. The ship acts as a place where you get side quests and a bunch of the rewards that exist throughout the game. So now I'm back in the simulation and we can go to the quest screen. And so now that we've finished the Pierce mission, you see we have a loyalty mission for Pierce.
Nice.
So we can go and do whatever he cares about within the simulation, kind of strengthen that bond. We're about serious, serious emotional
He'll be
bonds with
super
our
homie.
characters.
That's a reward.
And your reward is he gets superpowers. And everybody, when they get superpowers, they get a new costume. They get pretty outlandish. Pierce gets pretty insane when he gets this. And then he also has some side quests that he'll give you as well, so you can get extra weapons. You can see we have a bunch of quests. This is the tip of the iceberg, and each quest has a reward. Every side quest is going to have a reward that you're going to get out of it. We also have a bunch of challenges. And
Whoa.
challenges also have rewards. Something that we heard from players, some players preferred the way that we did the reward structure in SR2, where you did, 6 things of insurance fraud, and then you got unlocked from there. So now we kind of have the best of both worlds. If you get all silver medals in an activity or you get all gold medals in an activity, you'll get rewards for those.
Okay.
And then you'll also get rewards for doing the quests that involve those activities. And you have the Saints Row 3 upgrades that you can buy at your leisure.
Excellent.
And we have superpower upgrades that work similarly, though, like I said earlier, they work on the orbs. So every superpower has a bunch of different upgrades that you can buy. You can see have a few of them. So yeah, there's plenty of venues for unlockables and upgrades throughout the game.
That was a story mission. Being an open world game, though, there's lots of other activities
Yes,
that we can
tons.
spend our time with, right?
Yeah. So we have well over 100 different open world activities and diversions of all kinds to play through.
Tell me that insurance fraud is back.
Insurance fraud is in
Mayhem?
back.
Yeah,
My other favorite.
We have lots of different kinds of mayhem. We have the normal mayhem that you've gotten before. We have Stomp Mayhem that uses our Stomp superpower. There's UFO Mayhem and Mech Suit Mayhem and Tank Mayhem is making a comeback. And yeah, there's plenty of mayhem.
Yeah,
That's,
so
that's
we've
your
got
cup of tea.
we've got plenty of time. Do you want to start with mayhem or insurance fraud?
I love the insurance fraud.
Let's do it.
Or maybe whatever we're closest to on
Yeah,
the map.
this
Whichever
that's
we
an
go.
insurance fraud right here.
And viewers, let us know what other activities you want to see. Also, remember we have copies of the game to give away. We'll go ahead and give away one copy of the game right now to Tyler Wolfenberg.
Excellent.
He would like to know any idea how long the campaign will be this time around.
So we have, in total, we have 37, I want to say, missions, which is actually a longer campaign we had for Saints Row 3. And we have more side content as well than what we had in Saints Row 3, so expect
bigger
more.
game. Now, of course, this is the insurance fraud activity. The whole idea is to cause as much bodily harm to yourself
Yes.
as possible.
But with
Yeah,
superpowers.
The interesting thing now, yes, is you can sprint down the road at 100 miles an hour before flinging yourself into that car. So it's kind of a different thing, like launch yourself.
Oh!
You also get more air control now, so you can really make
Here we
those
go.
combos last pretty much forever.
Yeah, like it's such a fun mini game. And like you are trying to like chain combos and bounce yourself off of vehicles.
Yep.
Wait,
Well, that was a good hit.
in this, yeah, that was really good.
Nicely done.
Yeah, you're trying to hit certain tiers of medical damage you've caused yourself.
Yeah, so every activity now has medals, so I just hit the silver medal on this one with that nice big hit. About
Still plenty of time.
200,000 to
Yeah.
go for a gold. Hopefully we'll hit it. Yeah, as you can see, like I've gone over quite a bit of ground at this point. Let's see where map is. We started, I think we
Somewhere in
started way
downtown,
up
right?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've gone across quite a bit of ground. So you were saying earlier that the way to get through insurance fraud was to get on the highway.
Yeah, that was my trick in Saints 3.
Yeah, because that's where the fast cars are. But here, you're the fast car, right? You can go faster than those cars went on the highway, so you can make anywhere your highway here.
This is so crazy.
Does everyone think this helps?
Oh, dear. I think I
Momentum.
might have hit it.
Yeah,
I think I hit
looks
it.
like you hit it. Yeah, there
All
you
right,
go.
there we go.
Nice.
Does it end it automatically if you hit gold?
Yeah, once you hit gold, you're good.
Nice. Check out a mayhem activity.
I would love to.
All right, gonna have to pick a flavor. Let's see, mech suit. We got a mech suit right here.
There you go, nice and close.
It's an easy one, which makes it nice for me. Don't have to look like a fool.
Are all of our superpowers unlocked?
We do have all the superpowers unlocked right now. Yeah, at this point in the game, you would not have them.
Sure.
This is, set up especially for the demo.
Right.
Dave, you said you've been working on Saints since the beginning, outside of a little bit with 2. Could you have ever imagined when you were making Saints 1, the original game, that you would end up here after so long, and making a fourth game that's this.
Right. I think even back then, that would be the hope. Like Saints Row 3 and how insane we've gotten with the series. Like it's always felt to me like this is what I always wanted to be.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't there quite yet. So yeah, like I mean, as insane as it is, it does kind of feel like where it should have always been this way.
So mayhem is kind of the opposite of insurance fraud. Here you're trying to cause some amount of damage to the environment.
Yeah, and in this insane mech, you can do
Rack 'em
quite
up.
hit the damage.
Yeah, because it's interesting, for me, I remember playing the original Saints Row, the less than a year after the Xbox 360 launched, and it was the first next-gen sandbox game, first next-gen open-world game, and to me it felt like the best Grand Theft Auto San Andreas type experience I've seen since Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. But then it was Saints 2. It seemed like that's when you guys started to go, okay, well, Rockstar is making sort of a left turn onto Drama Street, so we're going to take a right turn down Crazy Avenue. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Saints 3, I thought, you guys really, that's when it all came together and you really fully embraced it. Not that the, speaking of poop earlier, the sewage truck, the poo shooting truck from 2 wasn't crazy, but Saints Row 3rd, it seems like that was sort of the ultimate realization of what you guys have been going for.
Yeah, and like I said, I think there's always been desire to be there, but it was definitely a very conscious decision. Like let's be the crazy people. Let's go that route and make it as good as we can. And it's a very liberating place to be. We get a lot more leeway with what we get to just make fun things, right?
Yeah.
We don't have to be the serious guys all the time, which is very nice.
Now, with Saints 3 or this game, is there ever a point where you or some representative from your company has that probably slightly uncomfortable meeting with the ESRB, the rating board, and they just
who has to do that?
Does the ESRB just go like, dudes, come on, really, no, and have you ever had to cut anything?
Yes, we definitely have. In various different places.
Sorry, Australia.
Right now, yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of news recently about the Australia thing.
What about in the US?
We have a mission. This entire mission, it doesn't exist. It can't be in Australia.
Oh, wow.
Really?
This whole mission. Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah,
I hope
mean,
if anyone
there are
from Australia
things,
is watching, there you go.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of times it's individual things and changing things slightly. It's not like full cuts. In other regions, sometimes it is full cuts. It all depends. The process is a new challenge every time, basically. There aren't really hard and fast rules so much for like what can and cannot be in a game. You kind of send in what you got, and then they'll tell you like, well, we don't really think this should be there. And so then you have to tweak it and
don't you not have to you make them a presentation on what's in the game, right?
Yeah, I mean it's on good faith, right? Like we could show a presentation of just like somebody walking down the street and be like, hey, look at all these people on the street. And then they would get extremely angry at us when we release an E-game.
What are they going to do, fine you? Or do they really have any power?
Well, I think, if they were to like pull your rating, you're just done.
Well, that's true,
so I
think
think they get
What
some
happened
power.
to San Andreas after the hot coffee?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
That's the big issue. What are we looking here? What is this?
Here? Okay, so this is a platforming rift. This is one of our new activities. It's built around our superpowers. So you know that little sphere dude, Sid?
Yes.
He has built rifts within the simulation that are, their whole point is to destabilize everything. So you go inside of these and all of them are challenging one of your superpowers. So this one's gonna be all about super jump. There's also rifts that are about telekinesis and super speed. The super speed ones are kind of like a temple runner. So these are all like very challenge-based activities.
Looks like you need your certain superpowers for some of these.
Yeah, they'll unlock once you get those superpowers. We tend to not hold too much back for too long. So like these movement powers, you get pretty early in the game, and so you'll be able to jump into here pretty early. So my goal here is to hit all these platforms, turn them blue, and if I hit them in the middle, then I get a bonus for getting a bullseye. I want to do it as fast as I can because I'll also get a speed bonus.
This is nothing. In the last intro game I played as a toilet.
That mission's so great.
That was great. It was.
I love the text adventure part of that sequence too.
Yeah, we now have a text adventure collectible.
Really?
You can go through the game. I forget how many there are, but you can go and collect the collectible and then play through the text adventure to find out the story of Zinyak, the leader of the alien invaders. You find out his life story through text adventure.
Closing in, plenty of time. Stuff like this must make your level designers really happy because they get to spread their wings a little bit, do some different stuff.
Yeah, all the riffs are done by a designer named Xavier, and he just likes to jump in and play around. He's a big fan of like prototyping things, and he likes to do something different with all the toys that we have in the game.
This activity did not stop when you hit gold. You are just setting a new high score
this
here.
one is you need to get to the end, and you're trying to get as big of a hack into the simulation as you can. So, unlike insurance fraud, there actually is a end point in this guy.
Right. Something tells me you've done this once.
I've done it a couple
before.
times. Yeah, this is one.
Victory.
So I worked on the movement powers in the game, and so I've worked with Xavier a lot on, how long are these jumps going to be, and what are the platform sizes and stuff like that. So we've had a lot of back and forth between us to make sure that everything works well here.
Yeah.
So I played all the risks quite a few times.
Any good questions out in Twitter land?
We do.
yet?
We're gonna go ahead and give away another copy of Saints Row 4 to Link Broken, who wants to know, with the addition of superpowers now, how do you balance the weapons, make sure the weapons are still useful?
Short answer is they're more powerful.
You just up-power the weapons?
Yeah, actually, a question that we get fairly often is, how do we make the game balanced in any way, given how insane power is? Like, does it just get so easy by the time you get to the end? And part of that is we've just made better enemies. We have a lot more enemy types now that can do a lot. They have a lot more tricks. So the gangs in previous Saints Row games have pretty much been guys, right? Like, there's dudes on the street, they have various weapons, they've been pretty simple. Now with aliens, the sky's the limit, right? We can do whatever is needed with an alien.
Yeah.
So we have aliens that have superpowers. Like these guys, they have superpowers, so they can super jump around, and they can follow you up to the top of a rooftop and attack you there.
It's like Zod coming for Clark.
Yeah, we haven't really shown the other enemy types until today, really. We also have, this is another little trick that they have now, is these teleportals, which these can spawn at the top of buildings, and so nowhere's safe. You can't really just run away. Another thing that we've changed is, if you see these little health things that are running up into me now, don't just regen your health like you have in previous game. You have to go and pick it up.
Oh, okay.
And it keeps things a lot more intense, and it keeps the player aggressive. One of the reasons we did it is because some players tend to, just hide behind buildings and whatnot, which is fine. But the Saints are not a very defensive organization. They're a little bit more offensive. We wanted the player to stay aggressive.
Does it feel like playing Saints Row the Third with like cheat codes with God mode enabled?
That's a decent way of explaining it. It's definitely not God mode. The deaths, they will come.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cheat codes is definitely up there. You can see we also have guys that come in these little treble bowl vehicles that can follow you around. So a lot of our time has been spent making guys that are capable of dealing with a super-powered player. So a lot of it has been getting them to places they couldn't before. This guy he's got an enemy SID right here on him, and he's making a shield on the guy, so I can't just take him out. I have to destroy the SID first. I'm running out of health.
Viewers, you're watching Saints Row 4 here at IGN. We still have 2 copies of the game to give away for the platform of your choice. In order to be automatically entered, just tweet your questions at IGN, and we'll answer them here live. I wonder, can we see Dubstep Gun? Is now time for the
absolutely.
Dubstep Gun?
Absolutely. Always see the Dubstep Gun.
So great.
Who thought that up? Is there a specific person that gets credit for that on the team?
There are so many people that get credit for that on the team. The Dubstep Gun is one of those things that so many people have worked on because it involves so many different systems. We have custom animations of people dubstep dancing as you're using it. We have a programmer, Randy, who's done an awesome job giving it the various things. It does so many things. There's people that dance in the streets and they like freeze in line with the music for the song. Here, I'm gonna switch out real quick and take this guy out. This guy is our biggest enemy in the game. He's called the Warden, and you can see he has a shield like that guy that had the SID on him. And so that shield makes it so that he's impervious to damage unless I use one of my superpowers. See, like right there, I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
So what summoned him?
Summoned him is the fact that I'm awesome.
Okay.
What happens is if you continue fighting notoriety and you do enough, in Saints Row 3, I want to say 5 was the highest level of notoriety, if I remember correctly. And so now we just have more levels, and when you get to the highest level, you're going to fight a warden. By killing a warden, you get some rewards, you get respect out of it and whatnot, but you also clear your notoriety. So now the streets are open and easy for me.
Nice.
We wanted to give players new ways of dealing with notoriety. It's always kind of been a one-way street where as soon as you do anything wrong in the world, everybody is out to get you from then on. And the only way to get rid of it are like to die, really.
Yeah.
And so we didn't really think that was the way to go. So we wanted to give the player more avenues of escape. But he's got to earn it. So with the Dubstep Gun, let's see. Let's go and show some of the weapon customization. It's really the perfect weapon. So yeah, as I was saying, with the Dubstep Gun, I'll show you some of the effects that it has. You can see these people dancing. And they're actually dancing in line with the wubs, which are attached directly to the music that's being played. And you can see these lights are flashing on and off. You have
Is that the lights on the car doing too?
Yep, the headlights on the car.
The car is bouncing.
The car bounces. We have hydraulics going off as people die. They also freeze in the middle of their death animations.
So is that what happens in the design meeting? Somebody's like, Dubstep Gun, and then someone else says, well, then the cars bounce, and then does it just sort of all start piling on and adding up?
The Dubstep Gun is a perfect example of that. So initially, the idea was just we need a new signature weapon, right? Love it or hate it, the Penetrator in Saints Row 3, a lot of people loved it, right?
Sure.
So we needed a new signature weapon, but we didn't want to go that route again. We wanted to do something different. So yeah, the initial idea was like dubstep gun, and you know, that's funny, but what does it really mean, right? Finding what does the dubstep gun actually do and how does it actually work has been an adventure, let's say.
So I forget, one of the versions of the game
Right, I was gonna
comes with the toy replica dubstep gun.
Yes, I in fact have one of those at my house right now.
And
Very proud.
are you guys fully expecting like the YouTube videos of people like
Yeah,
maybe
feel
like
like
a
it.
group of 10 people get
Yeah.
together and
gonna
are
be
going to be
good.
great, right?
I only hope so, yes. So I'm going to show off some of the weapon customization that we have. So in Saints Row 3, you know, you could go in and pick a weapon and you can upgrade it.
Right.
We've split up those upgrades a lot more so you can kind of decide what you want to invest in at any given time. And every single weapon in the game has its ultimate upgrade. So these are the heavy pistols. Here, if I swap them over to their normal form, you might notice like this is kind of the heavy pistol, the gang pistol from Saints Row 3 for the most part. It's been changed a bit. But so explosive ammo, that's its ultimate upgrade. So once I get that, every single bullet is going to cause a small explosion. But then also you can go in here and customize, and customization gives you not only different like color swaps, but it also has full model swaps as well.
Nice.
So you can change your weapons to you know, better fit your character and your play style. A lot of them are based on you know, iconic weapons that you'll see throughout science fiction, like this guy. Let's see. Like here's a standard version of it, the Renegade,
Nice.
and red shirt.
Nice.
So the reason I wanted to go in this with dubstep gun, something to note with this is when you do change your weapons, you're not just, I mean, you're changing everything visually, potentially. Depending on what the weapon is, it might have different VFX with it. It might have different sound effects with it. With the dubstep gun, you get the full suite because not only do you change the visuals, but you also change the music.
Yes.
Since everything fires in line with the music, having different music with it actually changes the function of the weapon. I'm also gonna go a little crazy and
Explosive wubs.
buy the ultimate upgrade, which
Yes.
is explosive wubs.
Money well
Okay,
spent
so
right
hopefully,
there.
yeah, hopefully now you can demonstrate
Yeah.
what the upgrades do.
So this will probably go through notoriety fairly quickly.
Problem.
You can see these explosions that are happening on the wubs. You can see as people dance, they dance differently because there are different wubs now.
Well played, Volition.
Yeah, so all these, you know, I've customized these weapons to match the character. Plaid ones there. I think those are tiger stripes. Oh, a cheetah. Yeah.
Is there a lightsaber you have too?
Yeah. We have a, it's
It's
legally
not- yeah,
distinct.
not a
legally
lightsaber,
distinct
sure,
from a lightsaber.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Glowing katana.
Yeah, are there new like takedown?
Yep.
moves?
Yeah, we had to upgrade them. As strange as it is, as insane as they were in Saints Row 3, they weren't insane enough for somebody with superpowers.
Always feels good to kick ass.
So, I presume that in previous games you could get, for your customizable player character, male, female, you could get really, really out there with the characters you can make. Whether like you could make a big blue person, like a Smurf-looking,
Yeah.
all that that same sort of wildness returns to the character creator, I presume.
Yeah, you have the same kind of breadth. Of course, we have a bunch of new outfits and clothing pieces and hairstyles and what have you. As we mentioned earlier, whatever character you made in Saints Row 3, you can just bring them right over here. So we definitely have the whole same feature set. Another new thing that we have for player customization is voice modulation. So you can take, we have seven character voices, 3 male, 3 female, and 1 Nolan North.
Oh my god. Really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Does he know?
I think someone told him. I'm not sure. We'll have to check on that. But yeah, so you can take that voice and then up pitch it or down pitch it and make it a whole different voice. Like one of the things I like to do, we get this question a lot, do we still have the Cockney accent? And we do. Everybody loves it. It's not going away. One of the things I love to do is take that voice and pitch it up a lot. And if you guys remember the 80s movie, The Labyrinth, there was that little worm that came out. He's like, hello.
So that's what he sounds like?
It sounds exactly like that worm. I love it.
Now, how about, can you explain to me, Dave, the Keith David as Keith David? Because, of course, he famously was the Saints' original leader in the first game.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a strange roundabout that he is now in another Saints Row game and here in Saints Row 4.
Right.
But as himself?
Yeah, originally it was Julius Little in Saints Row 1.
Yes.
And yeah, so now, I mean, it's one of those fun things to think about, right? Like, if you were asked the question, who would be the vice president? If the leader of the Saints was the president, who would his vice president be? And that takes your mind to all sorts of places that are fun. It's fun. It's a fun time. So yeah, Keith David is our writers having fun, doing a little bit of meta stuff. They love to do that, and Keith David's been awesome. Like he has a great sense of humor about himself. So he was absolutely up for it. So yeah, it's just an opportunity to be wacky, even in the seemingly unwacky things we do.
I'd like to say I think he may have replaced James Earl Jones as like the voice of God on this.
Yeah.
Love that guy's voice.
So we have a lot of the same stores. You can go into images design. You know what? So I did show this very quickly earlier. Zinyak is locked down all the stores. In Saints Row 3, you would go around and buy stores, had to put your hard-earned money into them.
Yeah.
So now you don't buy them. You have to hack into them. And this would be an example of a pretty early game.
Oh, okay,
hack.
it's a little puzzle game.
Yeah. And they obviously get more complicated than this as you progress through the game. The more you do, the harder they're going to become.
Okay.
So doing that, that's the way that you take over a store, and we can look on the map. So now I own that territory of the world.
How about throw back to Saints 3, do a little tank mayhem? Is there one of those nearby?
Let's see what we got.
There it is.
With the superpowers, it seems like you can get around the map pretty easily.
Yeah, you can
There you go.
get a little bit more freedom than you've gotten in previous games. This isn't actually fully upgraded right now as far as movement goes. It does get a little bit more insane than this, but eventually you can run 100 miles an hour on the ground and jump nearly that fast in the air. But of course, when you're jumping in the air, you don't have to follow streets or anything.
Right.
You just go right over any impediment in the way.
We do still have a couple copies of the game to give away. Just tweet questions at IGN, just like Gooch20 did. We'll give a copy of the game to Gooch20.
All right.
Wants to know, was it daunting to go back into development after Saints Row the Third became such a critical and commercial hit?
I think it was exciting.
Sure.
It's not really daunting. It's knowing that people love what you're doing. Like that's what we were talking about earlier about, you know, is this weird for where the Saints ended up going, and really the more that we've gotten success, the more that people have said that they love the game, the more confidence that gives us as a studio to just do more, go even further, you know? It's very liberating.
That's actually a good question too. Did you know? Obviously, Saints 1 did well, and Saints 2 did, but Saints 3 really took it to a new level. Were you guys surprised at how well that game did, or did you kind of internally were like, no, we've got it this time. This is going to be it. And so, yeah, how was the reception of the game received at the studio?
At the studio, it was extremely positive. We definitely knew that we had something, you know, one step farther within the studio. It's always a funny thing, you know, putting a game out. You know, we do tons of focus testing and whatnot, but you never really know. You know, like you put a game out and it could go any number of ways, but as much as one could be confident in what you put out, I think Saints Row 3 and 4 are definitely that.
The aliens act as police officers now. Like they're the ones that show up if you're causing too much
Actually,
trouble.
there are police officers and there are aliens, at least early in the game. So, you know, the aliens have put together these simulations to try to break you down. And they have the thinnest surface level, like this is a real world. And so, like, initially when you cause problems, it's going to be police that are going in and picking you out. But soon enough, if you make trouble for the police, they just transform into the aliens right in front of your face and hit you a little bit harder.
I see.
Pretty Matrix 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So we have about 15 minutes left on the stream today.
Boy, 45 minutes goes by fast when you're playing this game.
What other activities can you show us?
Let's go to another Rift type. That
Can we show the mission that Australia will never see?
We're not showing any other missions right now. That one also, like, we're trying not to, you know, spoil too much of the story for people and whatnot. So that's the only mission we'll be showing today.
Only 19 more days. People have to wait till the game's out.
Yeah. Scary kinds of soon. The game will be out in the stores. You can see these orbs all over the world. You can spend hours just lose yourself in collecting these orbs.
Yeah, for any of you Crackdown fans out there, I'll bring back some old memories.
Yes,
Good
there's
ones.
a reason it started with crack.
I'm guessing some of these collectible orbs cannot be reached until you've sufficiently upgraded your superpowers.
Yeah, let's see if we can. You know what? Hotspots. So some of the orbs. Here's one. So this is a stomp orb position where I have to use my stomp power in order to bring it up to surface. And these are worth more than your normal orb. So we have some of those that are gated by superpowers, and some of them are, just in positions that you can't get to until you upgraded your jump, stuff like that.
Now, how about the one thing we haven't seen you do at all in this 45 minutes thus far is get into a vehicle. Obviously, the superpower sort of replace the vehicle in a way, but are there still some of the crazy vehicles like the jets, the VTOLs, or the clown launcher one where you could put a co-op friend in the turret and shoot them out at stuff?
Yeah, we definitely we have. It's over 100 vehicles. I forget what the exact number is. They're all fully customizable, as we've had in past games. Some players do find that they use them less, right?
Yeah.
They're always an option there. You know, it's an open world sandbox game, so whatever you want to use for any given problem, you can use that thing, right? So vehicles are all still there. They're all given the same love they've always gotten in the past. Lots of customization options. And there's some new vehicles. You know, we have UFOs now that you can get into that kind of act like the VTOLs of old. With our pre-order incentive, you can get the Screaming Eagle VTOL, which is like, it's smaller than a regular VTOL, and it like has a screech that you know, like destroys guys. It's pretty awesome.
Logic bombs which can be thrown at the firewalls using your telekinesis in order to bring them down. However, the Zin have their own bombs which you should watch out for. Be mindful that specific colors should be matched for maximum effect against the tower.
So this is you know, another one of our new activities that we call Rift, and they're designed around testing your abilities with any given superpower. So this one's all about telekinesis. I have to fairly quickly grab these floating balls and throw them at targets.
Okay.
And as you do that, they will throw stuff back at you. So eventually you're doing this like insane man's juggle of flying projectiles coming at your face.
Possibly one of the best musical moments of any game in 2011 was the mission in Saints 3 where Kanye West's song Power
Yeah, and
comes
you're
on.
you're parachuting down.
With the Saints 4 soundtrack, are there any sort of similar type situations where a specific song you guys had in mind comes on at a specific mission?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think that was a huge success in Saints Row 3, and it's definitely something we want to continue with. So we have plenty of those moments in this game as well.
Who's the biggest name on the soundtrack this go around?
Biggest name. Well, we have a lot of a lot of good 80s and 90s music.
Right.
If you listen to
Speaking
the
of
mix,
language.
Yeah, if you listen to the mix, there's some really good stuff there. We have on a blank. We have a new station that's all about a certain label, but I'm drawing a blank on what that is. My apologies to them. We got some exciting, like surprising, I think you find musical moments in the game.
Excellent.
So kind of like the jumping riffs, I assure you this is quite difficult. I've done this so many times that it may not look that way, but
I need to apologize for being awesome, Dave.
well, you think that.
Just own it.
We are. This activity is kind of fun because you can push yourself by grabbing more balls that are just like launching. See that one in front of me that aren't aggressive. You can push it farther, but in doing so, it means they're gonna launch more at me.
Right.
So you gotta kind of pick your battles.
That's a lot of targets.
It is. Wrong color. Oh no!
No.
Oh, best to die.
Can we just jump up there?
We'll be fine. It's gonna be okay, guys.
We're already over gold damage, so.
Yeah. It's gonna be all right. not again!
There you go.
Finish it.
That was superbly done.
I have to agree.
Yes,
Superb.
indeed.
Got all these nice finishing animations that our animators put together.
Victory
I don't know if you
dances.
guys saw the Mech Suit Mayhem
Yeah,
one.
I
He's
like
like
it.
doing the
He was
robot.
doing the robot, yeah.
Amazing.
Good. Just a couple minutes left on our Saints 4 live stream today. We're going to give our last copy of the game away to Gregor Angus, who asks, will Cribs make a return to the game?
You know, cribs as such are not coming back in the game. Everything that they have done for you in the past is coming back, but now one thing. So this is your simulation that Zinyak has made to break you down, and so he's taken out everything that meant Saints before. So all of your cribs are among those things. Let's see if we can get in the distance a look at what old Saints HQ has become. But they've been replaced by, you know, when I warped into the world from the Nebuchadnezzar, there are warp gates that you can do all the things that you used to do through the warp gates, through the gateways. But there's no like physical attachment to them. They always take you to the ship, which is kind of your main crib, which has all your friends, and they give you all your quests through there.
So my last question, Dave, is the game's out August 20th. Obviously, we're going to play it because we love Saints Row, and this is a lot more crazy Saints Row. But the inevitable question is, you know, Saints Row 3 got pretty crazy. This is going much further out there. Where do you go from here? Do you pull back?
Yeah, you
and-
guys, were there ideas that
You know what?
like, didn't make it in
where
this
does Saints
thing?
Row go from this?
It's always another one of those fun questions that, you know, it's like it's a good problem to have, right? Where
Yeah,
do you go
sure.
from here? How do you get more crazy and more fun than we've already done in a game that's about being crazy and fun? I mean, there's always new ideas. We're not yet talking about what we're doing next, but
Now, would the ultimate Saints Row volition move be for the next game to be the most straight-faced, like hardcore, serious, like physical simulation with accurate physics,
yeah.
and just go complete opposite direction?
there have been some studios that have done that in the past. I don't know if that's something that Volition has much interest in doing.
We actually were getting a few questions asking if there is a day and night cycle.
You know, there isn't a dynamic day-night cycle in this game, but so again, this whole simulation has been built around breaking you down. So Zinyak wants to keep it nighttime all the time, keep it nice and dark. And as you progress through the game and get farther and farther, you're going to exert your control over it, bring it more towards daytime. And then once you've beaten the game, you unlock the ability to switch at will. So
Spoiler.
you can change it to whatever you want at that point. You know, something that we haven't shown at all yet is our superpower elements.
This thing, he can fill it up.
They're a lot of fun. So I've used Stomp so far already here, but but I've just switched it over to Shrink Stomp, which
Yes.
functionally works a little, pretty much the same thing, except for it shrinks everyone
Good girls
and
kick
makes them
ass.
easy targets.
That is.
This one,
Whoa.
it's absolutely great for things like flashpoints where everybody's in like a very small area. You just shrink them all and all right, boys.
So great. And then you can just run over them. It's pretty awesome. Hey, thank you so much for bringing Sims 4 by today.
Yeah, no problem.
It looks so much fun. I can't wait to play. It's only 19 days away. The game
19
will be
days.
In stores on August 20th. Look forward to the review soon here on IGN. Until then, thank you for tuning in today and stay tuned for everything video games at IGN.